Negative thinking can stop you from living your best life. It creeps in quietly, filling your mind with doubt, fear, and worry. But what if you could change that? What if you learned how to spot those negative thoughts, challenge them, and replace them with clearer, stronger beliefs? This book is about doing just that, breaking free from the cycle of negativity and building a mindset that lifts you up every day. You don't have to wait for a big moment or some perfect time to start feeling better about yourself and your future. Change begins with simple actions you can take right now. Small habits, clear goals, and honest self-talk can transform how you see yourself and the world around you. Imagine waking up each day with a calm mind and a clear sense of purpose, no longer weighed down by old fears or doubts. Throughout this book, you'll find practical advice that anyone can use. There's no tricky ideas or hard-to-understand concepts here, just simple steps that help you get stronger and more confident over time. You'll learn how to manage your thoughts, deal with setbacks without getting discouraged, and set up routines that support your mental and emotional health. The journey isn't always easy, and growth can sometimes feel slow. But sticking with these habits will build your resilience and bring new opportunities you might not have noticed before. This isn't about quick fixes or magic answers. It's about steady progress and daily actions that lead to lasting change. By the end, you'll have tools to keep moving forward, even when life feels tough. You'll know how to protect your peace, set limits, and focus on what really matters. Most importantly, you'll gain confidence in your ability to shape your own future. If you're ready to let go of negative thinking and live a life full of clarity, strength, and hope, this book will help you. Keep reading and take the first step towards the positive change you deserve. Chapter 1. Notice your negative thoughts and question them every day. Everything starts in the mind. Before anything changes outside, something must change inside. That change often starts with awareness, specifically awareness of your own thoughts. Your thoughts shape your view of reality. They guide your choices, fuel your feelings, and affect your habits. If your mind is full of negative thoughts, doubt, or quiet mental attacks, then your life feels heavy, fearful, and unclear. You lose energy, motivation, and belief in yourself. That's why the first step in breaking negative thinking is not about changing the world around you, it's about clearly seeing what's happening in your own head. You cannot change what you do not see. Most people go through life on autopilot, treating their thoughts as if they were facts. If the mind says you're not good enough, they believe it. If the mind says why bother trying, they give up. They don't question these thoughts because they don't even notice they're having them. This process happens so fast and quietly that they mix up thoughts with truth. This is how negativity takes over, by hiding in the background and whispering doubt until it feels normal. The first step is to pause and observe. Stop assuming that every thought you have is true or helpful. Start noticing what your mind tells you. You may be surprised by how often your thoughts are critical, fearful, or self-sabotaging. You might hear things like, "Nothing ever works out," "You always fail," or "Everyone else is better than you." These thoughts seem personal, but they are patterns and loops that repeat because they were never questioned. You're not thinking them as much as they are thinking you. You've heard them for so long that they sound normal, but normal doesn't mean helpful. You don't have to believe everything your mind says. Once you start to notice negative thoughts, the next step is to challenge them. Ask yourself directly, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is this thought based on facts or fear? Would I say this to someone I love? These questions interrupt the automatic process of believing everything that crosses your mind. They create space between you and the thought. That space is where you begin to reclaim control. When you challenge a negative thought, you take back your power. You're no longer a passive receiver. You become an active thinker. Challenging negative thoughts is not about lying to yourself or pretending everything is perfect. It's about being honest. If you fail at something, a negative thought might say, "You're a failure," but the truth is you failed at one thing. It doesn't mean you are a failure. There's a difference between an event and who you are. The mind often mixes them up. It takes a moment of pain and turns it into a lifelong label. This is where you need to step in and fix it. The thought isn't the end of the story. You are. To do this regularly, you need awareness all day. Notice how you talk to yourself when things go wrong. Listen to your inner voice. Is it harsh, critical, or unforgiving? Would you talk to a child the same way you talk to yourself? Probably not. Start replacing that voice with one that is strong but kind, firm but understanding. Talk to yourself the way you would talk to someone you care about, because you should care about yourself. Keep a journal. At the end of each day, write down your most common thoughts. Be honest. Don't filter or edit. Just write what came up. Then go back and read them. Would you believe these thoughts if they came from someone else? Would you question them? This exercise helps you see how distorted your thinking can be. The more you practice, the more you will notice patterns. You'll see which thoughts appear when you're tired, stressed, or down. And when you see them, you can prepare for them. You can face them with strength instead of giving in. One of the key changes in mindset is knowing that you are not your thoughts. You have thoughts, but they don't define you. They are just temporary messages that come and go like waves. Some thoughts are helpful, some are harmful. You are the observer. You decide which thoughts to act on and which to let go. This awareness gives you freedom. You no longer have to be trapped by your own mind. Many people believe that negative thinking is just who they are. They say things like, "I've always been this way," or "I can't help it." But those beliefs are just thoughts too. And like all thoughts, they can be questioned and changed. You are not stuck. You are not broken. You are not doomed to live in a mental loop of fear and criticism. But you must be willing to do the work. You must take your mental life seriously. It affects everything else. The world will not always be kind. Life will bring challenges, rejection, and difficulty. But your mind can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. You get to decide which one it will be. If your inner voice encourages you, supports you, and reminds you of your strength, then no matter what happens around you, you will not fall apart. But if your inner voice constantly attacks you, doubts you, and tells you that you can't handle life, then even small problems will feel impossible. That's why breaking negative thinking is not a luxury. It's a necessity. Start small. Don't try to fix every thought at once. Begin by catching one negative thought each day and challenging it. Write it down. Question it. Replace it with something more truthful and empowering. If the thought is, "I'll never succeed," replace it with "Success takes time, and I'm learning." If the thought is, "Nobody cares about me," replace it with, "I'm still learning how to connect and build trust." These new thoughts don't need to be overly positive, they just need to be more honest. Real progress is grounded in truth, not fantasy. Understand that this is not a one-time fix, it's a daily discipline. Your mind will keep offering negative thoughts, because that's what it's used to. Your job is to keep catching them, questioning them, and replacing them. Over time, the patterns begin to change. Your mind starts to default to strength instead of weakness. Doubt loses its grip. Confidence begins to grow. But this only happens through practice. Awareness alone is not enough. You must also act on what you see. This journey requires patience. There will be days when the negative thoughts win, days when you feel tired and overwhelmed. On those days, be kind to yourself. Don't make things worse by blaming yourself for negative thought. Just accept what happened and start again. Growth isn't about never falling. It's about getting up quicker each time, and you will get stronger, little by little, if you keep going. You are not here to be afraid of your mind. You are here to master it, to control your thoughts, and build a life that matches your true values. It starts with the simple choice to pay attention. to notice what your mind is saying and to ask if it's really true. Every day is a new chance to guide your mind in a better way. Every thought is another chance to pick strength over fear. When you commit to this process, your life starts to change. You begin to feel more in control. You start to respond to challenges instead of reacting. You treat yourself with more kindness. You become more present, more grounded, more at peace. This happens when you stop believing every negative thought and start thinking on purpose. It's not about being perfect. It's about being aware, being intentional, being free. You don't have to wait to feel better. You don't have to wait until everything in your life is fixed. You can start right now by choosing to identify and challenge just one negative thought. That simple act, done consistently, will reshape your inner world. And as your inner world changes, so does everything else. The world outside starts to feel less threatening. People feel less judgmental. The future feels less terrifying because you are no longer carrying the weight of your own negative voice. This is how personal growth begins, not with big goals or loud statements, but with a quiet choice to take your thoughts seriously, to treat your mind like a garden, to remove the bad parts, to plant something better. It's daily work, it's unseen work, but it is the most important work you will ever do, because your thoughts are the base of your whole life. Change them, and you change everything. Keep paying attention, keep showing up, keep choosing better thoughts. One day at a time, you are not broken, you are becoming, and this moment right now is the perfect place to begin. Chapter 2. Replace self-doubt with clear and honest truth. Self-doubt doesn't show up loudly. It shows up quietly, in moments of doubt and silence. It hides in questions like, what if I'm not ready, or who am I to try? It talks softly, but often, enough to make you stop, shrink, or back away from your potential. It's not always dramatic. Many times it sounds reasonable. That's why it's dangerous. It makes you believe that staying still is safer than moving forward, that trying is riskier than waiting, that failing means you're not good enough. Over time, self-doubt becomes a habit, a usual response to anything new, uncertain, or uncomfortable. Unless you replace it with something stronger, it begins to shape how you live. The only way to remove self-doubt is to face it with clarity and truth. Not with positive thinking, not with shallow affirmations, but with honest, grounded understanding of who you are, what you've been through, and what you are capable of doing next. You don't fight doubt by ignoring it, you face it and ask what it's really saying. Most of the time, self-doubt doesn't come from your real self. It comes from old voices, teachers, parents, experiences, or failures that made you feel not good enough. But those voices are not who you are, they are memories, and memories are not instructions for your future. Clarity begins when you stop guessing about your worth, when you stop basing your confidence on feelings and start building it on facts. Look back on your life honestly. What have you overcome? What have you improved? What have you learned through pain, loss, or discomfort? The answers are already there, but self-doubt convinces you to ignore them. It wants you to forget your progress and focus only on your fears. It tells you that you're not good enough because you don't feel confident every day. But confidence isn't a feeling. It's a result. It comes from doing hard things, from showing up even when you're unsure, and from taking small steps until your mind starts believing what you're showing. You don't beat self-doubt by waiting for a big moment. You beat it by choosing to stop lying to yourself. Doubt says, you're not capable, but the truth is, you've already faced tough times, and you're still here. Doubt says, you'll never get it right. But the truth is, you've solved things before, and you can solve this too. Truth is not about being too positive, it's about being accurate. And when you start to live in truth, your self-image changes. Not because you're telling yourself what you wish were true, but because you're standing on what actually is. Every time you doubt yourself, pause and ask, what do I know for sure? What have I done that proves I'm not helpless? What have I survived that makes this next challenge possible? This reflection is not ego, it's honesty. Life will always give you reasons to doubt yourself, but the real test is if you will keep believing lies or speak the truth to yourself bravely. The truth is quiet. It doesn't demand your attention. It waits for you to notice. It's always there, but you must choose to hear it. You also need to stop mixing up self-doubt with humility. Doubting yourself doesn't make you humble. It makes you stuck. True humility is knowing your limits while also seeing your need to grow. It means saying, I may not know everything, but I'm willing to learn. Self-doubt says, I'm not ready. Truth says, I'm learning to be ready. One keeps you still, the other moves you forward. That difference changes everything. Many think self-belief comes first and action comes after. But the truth is, action leads to belief. Start small, take one step, show yourself you can do it. That proof becomes your strength. The more you do, the less you'll need to convince yourself you're capable because you'll have proof. The people who trust themselves most aren't the ones who never doubted. They are the ones who acted anyway. They took steps in silence, in fear, in uncertainty, and learned that movement itself builds confidence. Be careful about what you tell yourself. Every thought you repeat becomes a message to your nervous system. If you say, I can't, often enough, your mind starts looking for reasons to make it true. If you say, I'm not ready, your mind will focus on everything that proves you're not ready. But if you change your words, even a little, you start to change your focus. Say, I'm preparing. Say, I'm figuring it out. Say, I'm learning. These aren't just empty words. They're reminders that your current struggle is not your final story. Self-doubt also grows in isolation. When you keep your fears, insecurities, and struggles inside, they take up more space than they should. Speak the truth out loud. Share it with someone you trust, or write it down. Give shape to your thoughts so you can see them clearly. Often, what feels too much in your mind becomes easier to handle when you put it into words. That's when clarity comes back. That's when the fog lifts and you can think again with reason instead of fear. Be careful who you spend time with. If you're with people who always question you, dismiss your ideas, or spread negativity, your self-doubt will grow, not because they control your thoughts, but because influence matters. Spend more time with people who speak truth to you, who see your strength, who remind you of your progress, and who hold you accountable without putting you down. You don't need cheerleaders. You need truth-tellers who believe in your growth, even when you don't. Your story is still being written. Don't let self-doubt tell you who you are or what you can do. That job is yours. Replace every negative thought with something true. When the voice says you can't, respond with, I'll try anyway. When it says you're not enough, respond with, I'm working on getting better. This isn't about ignoring tough times. It's about facing them with a clearer voice, one based in reality, not fear. Growth happens when you refuse old labels like failure, weak, average, broken. These come from moments, not truths. You may have failed, but you are not a failure. You may feel weak, but you are not defined by weakness. You may have settled before, but you are not stuck. The moment you stop treating temporary feelings as permanent facts is when your life starts to change. Replace doubt with truth. By building self-respect, treat your goals like they matter. Stick to your habits, even when no one sees. Keep your promises to yourself. These are small acts of discipline, but over time they become the base of confidence. You stop needing outside approval because your actions are enough. You know who you are because you've seen what you're willing to do. That's truth. That's power. Self-doubt will come back again. It doesn't disappear forever, but each time it returns, you'll be more ready. You'll know what it looks like. You'll recognize its voice. And instead of letting it take over, you'll respond with proof, with clarity, with action. You'll return to the truth, not as a wish, but as a habit. And each time you do, the voice of doubt gets quieter. Your voice gets stronger. You don't need to wait for someone else to believe in you. You don't need the perfect moment or plan. You need the truth. And the truth is this: you have more strength than you've given yourself credit for. You have more potential than you've allowed yourself to use. You can build, grow, and rebuild no matter how many times you fall. But it starts with what you tell yourself. It starts with how you answer doubt when it shows up. It starts with replacing lies with truth every single day. Chapter 3. Chapter 1. Build new habits that support a better mindset. A better mindset doesn't come from wishing or waiting. It comes from what you do every day. The way you begin your morning, the thoughts you entertain, the actions you repeat, and the choices you make, these all create the mindset that shapes how you live. If your habits are working against your growth, then even the strongest motivation will fade. Motivation can give you a push, but your habits decide where you end up. To have a strong and calm mind, you need habits that help with mental clarity, emotional balance, and respect for yourself. Every day, your habits teach your mind what to expect. If you stay up late, start your day with noise, avoid important tasks, and constantly scroll through negative stuff, your mind will feel anxious, tired, and confused. These are not personality traits, they are results. The brain adapts to what you give it, and if you give it chaos, it can't create peace. Changing your mindset begins with disciplined living, not just positive thinking. Start with small, steady changes. Pick one habit to start your day with. Keep it simple and stable. Wake up at the same time, drink water before checking your phone, sit quietly for 5 minutes, and breathe. These habits might not seem important at first, but they change how you start your day. They give you a moment between sleep and chaos, a moment between your inner thoughts and the outer world. This moment helps your mind take control. Without it, you jump straight out of bed into reacting and spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. Having a routine brings mental peace, not because everything goes as planned, but because you know where to start. Many people feel stuck because they live without a routine. They say they feel lost, unmotivated, or overwhelmed, but these feelings often come from scattered habits. When every day is unpredictable, the mind starts to fear the unknown. But when you have consistency in your daily actions, your mind feels safe enough to focus and grow. Discipline reduces emotional noise. Your mindset improves when you focus on what you can control. One of the best habits you can build is planning your next morning the night before. Write down 3 small tasks, not big ones, just 3 things you will finish. When you wake up, do those tasks first. This simple habit creates mental order. It shows your brain that your life has a plan. Over time, that plan becomes part of you, and you stop relying on emotions to decide what to do next. You start to lead yourself. Mental habits are just as important as physical ones. If you want to have a better mindset, you need to stop overthinking. Overthinking is not reflection, it's hidden fear. It seems like control, but it leads to doing nothing. A good habit to try is time block decision-making. When you need to make a decision, give yourself a set time, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour to think about your choices, then decide and move on. Train your mind to choose and stick with it. This builds mental strength and cuts down on stress. Another good habit is choosing what you take in on purpose. What you watch or listen to affects your thoughts. If you always watch bad news, have negative talks, or watch pointless shows, your mind will be uneasy and defensive. Pick your inputs carefully. Spend at least 30 minutes a day learning something useful, calming, or inspiring. Listen to wise people. Read with focus. Be around people and ideas that push you to grow. This habit keeps your mind clear of confusion. A better mindset also comes from physical discipline. Your body and mind are connected. When you neglect your body, your mind becomes dull and reactive. Moving your body helps your brain too. You don't need to train like an athlete. Just move every day. Walk, stretch, and breathe deeply. These small actions signal to your mind that you are alive, present, and in control. Even 10 minutes of moving around can change how you feel. Another habit that is often overlooked is being still. We live in a busy world, but real understanding often comes when nothing is happening. Spend time in silence each day, even if it feels strange. Sit without distractions and just watch your thoughts. Let your thoughts come and go without chasing them. In that quiet time, you will learn more about yourself than in hours of noise. The habit of stillness builds self-awareness, and without it your mindset cannot improve. It can only change based on what happens around you. Track your habits. Write down what you do each day and review it weekly. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. Notice which actions make you feel good and which leave you tired. Replace what doesn't help you. Strengthen what does. This habit of review builds responsibility. When you see your patterns clearly, you stop blaming your mood, your past, or other people. You start taking control of how your life feels, one choice at a time. Avoid waiting for motivation. Motivation is not reliable. Discipline is. Build systems that work even when you don't feel like it. Set alarms, create reminders, prepare your space for focus. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to make excuses. Willpower fades. Systems last. The best habit you can develop is doing what needs to be done, especially when it's inconvenient. This habit will separate you from the version of yourself that stays stuck. Support your mindset by making rest a habit, not a reward. Most people burn out and rest only when they collapse. But rest is not a luxury. It's a tool. Set a bedtime and protect it. Take short breaks before your energy is gone. Learn to unplug. Real rest is intentional. It's not just avoiding work, it's doing what recharges you. This habit stops emotional burnout and helps your mind heal and stay sharp. Start where you are. You don't have to change everything at once. Pick one habit that supports your mindset and do it daily. Keep it simple. The goal is consistency, not intensity. Let that habit become a base. Then add another. Build your habits slowly. This slow, steady process builds strength. And with strength comes the ability to handle stress, adapt to change, and stay focused under pressure. You are not the result of your past habits. You are the creator of your future ones. If your habits have caused mental chaos, that is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change it. You have the power to reset your patterns, to choose new behaviors, and to design a life that supports mental clarity and emotional strength. Your habits are the soil. Your mindset comes from what you plant and how you care for it. There are no shortcuts, no secrets, just actions, repeated habits that reflect your values, your goals, and your wish to live with more peace and purpose. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Every time you choose a better habit, you tell your mind that you're serious about change. And when your mind starts to trust you, everything begins to shift from confusion to clarity, from reaction to purpose, from fear to discipline. That is how a better mindset is built, not by force, not by luck, but by quiet daily decisions that align with who you want to become. The path is not always exciting, but it is always there. One habit at a time, one day at a time, and in time you will become someone whose mindset is not controlled by the past, but designed by intention. Chapter 4. Speak to yourself with calm and positive words. The way you speak to yourself becomes the way you feel about yourself. Your inner voice is always with you, shaping your feelings, guiding your choices, and affecting how you react to life. It's with you when you fail, feel stressed, wake up early, and stay up late. Yet most people talk to themselves in a way they wouldn't talk to others. They say things like, "You're not good enough, you always mess up," or "Why can't you be better?" These words may seem private, but they have public effects. How you talk to yourself directly affects how you act, how you treat others, and how you go after your goals. Calm and positive words don't mean unrealistic or overly hopeful thinking. They mean talking to yourself in a way that is respectful, fair, and focused on growth instead of judgment. When you make a mistake, you can say, "That wasn't my best, but I can fix it," instead of, "You're such a failure." When you feel stressed, you can say, "I can handle this one step at a time," instead of, "I can't deal with anything." This change in words doesn't just feel better, it changes your brain. Over time, your mind learns to see challenges as manageable instead of scary. This isn't just a mindset trick. It's a brain change caused by repeated calm, positive self-talk. If you grew up hearing criticism, judgment, or emotional distance, then harsh self-talk might feel normal. But just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's helpful. Your mind has likely been repeating the same phrases for years. The first step is to listen. Really listen to what you're saying to yourself, not just in big moments, but in the small, unnoticed times. When you forget something, when you look in the mirror, when someone gives you feedback, when you're running late. Those are the moments when the real voice shows up. Once you start paying attention, you might notice patterns. You may often call yourself lazy when you're tired. You might use sarcasm to hide disappointment. You might shut down emotionally and use silence as a way to punish. These habits grow slowly and quietly, but they create a mindset that doesn't feel safe or supportive. Your mind should be a place of honesty, not hostility. A place where you can speak truth without being cruel, strength without shame. Changing your inner language takes effort and consistency. Start by noting the phrases you say to yourself most often. Write them down. Then ask yourself, would I say this to someone I care about? Would I want a child to hear these words every day? If the answer is no, then why speak to yourself that way? You are not a problem to be fixed. You are a person to be supported, especially by the one voice that follows you everywhere, your own. Speaking calmly to yourself means choosing words that bring clarity instead of panic. It means saying, "I don't know yet, but I'll learn," instead of "I'm so stupid." It means saying, "This is difficult, but I've faced worse." Instead of "I can't handle this," these words don't take away pain, but they help you stay steady in the middle of it. They give you enough space to take a breath and keep going instead of breaking down under pressure. Positive self-talk is not about denying problems. It's about reminding yourself that problems can be faced. When your mind tells you that things are falling apart, your calm voice responds with stability. When fear tells you to hide, your inner voice reminds you that courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. You don't have to feel strong to speak with strength. You just have to choose not to fuel the fear with more fear. You can develop this skill through repetition. Every time you catch yourself speaking negatively, stop and reframe it. Replace the harsh statement with a more balanced one. If you say, "I'll never get this right," replace it with, "It's okay to struggle while learning." If you say, "No one likes me," replace it with, "I'm still learning how to connect, and that takes time." These are not tricks, they are truths told with care. And telling yourself the truth in a kind tone is one of the strongest forms of discipline. You should also be aware of the tone you use. Sometimes it's not the words, it's the voice behind them. You might say the right thing, but in a way that feels cold or forced. Speak to yourself as you would to a close friend who's going through a hard time. Be firm when necessary, but never cruel. Be direct without tearing yourself down. You can correct yourself without demeaning yourself. Practice this every day, especially when things go wrong. It's easy to be kind to yourself when everything is fine. The real work happens when you're tired, disappointed, or anxious. That's when your old habits will try to take over. You'll want to blame yourself, criticize yourself, or shut down. In that moment, pause. Say something different. Even if it feels strange at first, say it anyway. The more you practice, the more real it becomes. Use writing to shape your inner voice. Keep a journal where you write messages to yourself. Not just about your goals, but about how you want to treat yourself. Write the kind of support you wish someone else had given you. Write what you need to hear when things are hard. Then read it back when your mind starts to drift in negativity. These words become your mental anchor, a place you can return to when everything else feels uncertain. Also, be mindful of the media and messages you consume. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, sarcasm, or unhealthy comparisons, your mind will absorb that tone. Choose inputs that align with the voice you want to build. Read books that speak clearly. Listen to voices that offer wisdom without drama. Let your mind be shaped by strength and calmness, not fear and noise. If you've spent years speaking harshly to yourself, the change won't happen overnight. You will slip back into old patterns. That's okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is awareness and course correction. When you notice that negative voice, pause and switch. Don't punish yourself for slipping. Praise yourself for catching it. Every correction is a win. Every gentle word is a step in the right direction. Your inner voice becomes your companion in everything you do. It's the one presence that never leaves. You can use it to create peace, or you can let it become a source of constant tension. The choice is always yours. This isn't about being endlessly positive. It's about being consistently fair, about speaking with balance, truth, and care, even when no one else is watching or listening. Your words shape your world. Speak with power, but speak with peace. Remember that making mistakes is okay, and you are still valuable. Remember that growing takes time, and you are still moving forward. Remember, you can be strong without being harsh on yourself. The words you choose today shape your future. Speak wisely. Speak kindly. Speak like someone who knows their own value. Chapter 5. Focus on now and let go quickly. Most of life is happening right now, but we miss it because our minds are elsewhere, either stuck in the past or worrying about the future. The present moment is where change starts, where peace is found, and where clarity comes. But many people spend little time truly living in it. They replay old talks, think about past mistakes, and hold on to things they can't change, or they worry about things that haven't happened yet. In both cases, life goes on without them, moment by moment, while their mind is elsewhere. To fully focus on the present is to return to what is real. It means bringing your awareness back to where you are, not where you were or where you think you should be. It's not something you do once and then perfect. It's something you practice every time your mind tries to wander. You gently bring it back again and again until it starts to stay. That's how you build presence, not by force, but by constant return. Letting go is not forgetting. It's not pretending that nothing mattered. It's not ignoring your feelings or denying that something hurt. Letting go is deciding that your peace is more important than holding on to the past. It's releasing your hold on something that's already gone so you can make space for something new. It's not always easy. Some experiences stick with you longer, but the choice to keep thinking about them and giving them your energy is yours. You don't need to keep paying for something that already cost you enough. You've probably held on to things for too long before. Maybe it was a comment someone made years ago. Maybe it was a failure you couldn't forget. Maybe it was guilt, anger, or disappointment. These moments build up like heavy weight in your mind, and every time you revisit them, you add more tension, but nothing changes. The past doesn't become clearer or less painful by thinking about it more, it just becomes heavier. To live in the present, you have to let go faster, not carelessly, but intentionally. You notice when something is taking up your attention and you decide not to carry it any further than needed. You learn to say, "That happened. It's over. I'm still here." And then you move on, not because it wasn't important, but because you are more important. Letting go quickly doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're ready. Ready for what's next, for what's real, for what's still possible. There's a deep strength in being fully present in the moment you're in. When you're present, your mind is not scattered. You're not half listening, half worrying, or half regretting. You're fully here. That kind of focus sharpens your decisions, improves your relationships, and boosts your confidence. You stop reacting from old hurts and start responding with clear intention. You notice your breath, your posture, the tone of your voice. You become aware of how you're showing up, not in the past or the future, but right now. Living this way takes discipline. It's easy to get distracted. It's tempting to scroll, to numb, to avoid. But avoidance creates more pain later. Presence takes courage. You need to feel your life as it is, not as you wish it was or as you fear it might be, but just as it is. When you can do that, when you can be with yourself even when things are tough, you build a strength that can't be taken away. Letting go quickly is not something most people learn. Usually we're told to dwell, to overthink, to hold on to things until they make sense. But clarity doesn't come from clinging. It comes from space. The more you let go, the more clearly you see what really matters. You realize that not every thought needs your attention. Not every feeling needs a reaction. Some things just need to pass, and they will. If you let them, you don't need to resolve everything to move on. Closure is often overrated. Sometimes the only closure you need is to stop reopening the wound. You stop replaying the story. You stop giving power to what already happened. You take a deep breath and let yourself keep going. Not because everything is perfect, but because staying stuck won't help. The present moment is where your power is. It's where you make choices. It's where you heal. It's where chances come. But you can only use that power if you're here. That means training your attention like a muscle. When it drifts, bring it back. When it spirals, slow it down. When it dwells, gently redirect it. Every time you do this, you get stronger. You show yourself that you're not controlled by your thoughts. You're in charge of your attention. Even in tough times, presence can be a safe place. You don't need everything to be perfect to feel grounded. You just need to keep coming back to what's real. The sound of your breath, the ground under your feet, the look in someone's eyes when you're really listening. These are not small things. These are the moments that make up a life. If you miss them, you miss everything. Letting go fast also means not taking things personally. People say and do things that show their own struggles, not your worth. When you hold on to their words, you make their pain your burden. But you don't have to. You can hear it, feel it, and let it go. You can respond clearly or walk away calmly, but you don't have to carry it forever. You can leave what doesn't belong to you. The more you practice presence and letting go, the lighter you feel. The less you carry, the more room you have for peace. You don't need to control everything. You just need to keep showing up to what's in front of you. That's where your real life is happening. Not in the past or the future, but in this breath, in this choice, in this one moment. You may never fully control your situation, but you can control your focus. You can choose to stop putting energy into what's already gone. You can choose to pay attention to what matters most now. This is a choice you'll need to make again and again. Some days it will be easier than others, but every time you do it, you move forward. Every time you let go of what's no longer needed, you gain strength. Every time you choose to stay calm instead of panic, you make your life better. So take a deep breath, Feel your feet on the ground. Remind yourself that you are here, not in the past, not in the future. Here and here is where everything begins. Take control of your reactions with deep breathing. There are moments in life when everything seems to move too fast. Emotions rise without warning, words slip out before you can think, and tension spreads through your body like a wildfire. In those moments when the stress builds, when someone annoys you, when things feel too much, your ability to stay calm is most important. But being steady doesn't come from wishing for easier times. It comes from learning to face life with purpose, especially when it tries to knock you down. One of the best tools you have in those times is your breath. Your breath is not just a physical act, it's your anchor. When everything around you feels crazy, your breath can be the thing that keeps you in the present. When your heart starts to pound, when anger starts to rise, when you feel like yelling or shutting down, one mindful breath can change everything. It won't fix the problem, but it changes how you handle it. That change alone can stop harm, open new paths, and give you back a sense of control. Most people don't know that their breathing changes with their emotions. When you're anxious or angry, your breath becomes quick and shallow. This tells your brain that something is wrong, which increases your stress and reactivity. It becomes a cycle. Your thoughts affect your breath affects your body reacts without thinking, and then you regret what you said or did. Breaking this loop starts by flipping it. Instead of letting your breath react to your emotions, you use your breath to guide your emotions. This isn't about ignoring how you feel, it's about making space between what happens and how you respond. That space is where your power lives. Deep breathing doesn't make you emotionless, it makes you more aware. It lets you observe your inner reactions without immediately acting on them. It gives you the few extra seconds you need to choose a better path. That choice is everything. When you practice slow, careful breathing, you stop the stress response. You tell your nervous system you are safe. This lets your body calm down, your heart rate slow, and your mind relax. You can think more clearly, listen without getting defensive, and respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting. It's not about being perfect, it's about practicing control when it matters most. You won't always catch yourself in time. Sometimes you will react before you breathe, and that's okay. The point is not to be perfect, but to build awareness. Even after reacting, you can take a breath and find your center again. You can apologize if needed, learn from it, and keep practicing. Over time, your default response changes. You start responding with calm more often than with chaos. You become less affected by outside events and more guided by your own inner calm. Breathing deeply isn't hard. You don't need a quiet room or perfect posture or years of training. You just need to pause for a moment. Breathe in slowly through your nose, feel your lungs fill up. Pause for a second, then breathe out gently through your mouth. Let the tension go with it. That's all. One breath like that can start to change how you react. 3 or 4 in a row can change your whole mindset. When you make this a habit, you start to notice that situations that used to bother you now feel less serious. You become more patient. You listen longer before reacting. You stop needing to win every argument or defend every opinion. You realize that calm isn't weakness, it's control. And you begin to respect yourself more for keeping that energy rather than losing it to temporary emotion. There will always be people who try to upset you. There will be setbacks, inconveniences, and moments where things don't go as planned. But these are not reasons to lose your peace. These are chances to practice holding it more firmly. And your breath is your access point every time. It doesn't need to be dramatic. In fact, the more subtle and consistent it becomes, the more powerful it is. Like a quiet strength beneath the surface, always available. It's also important to understand that deep breathing isn't just a response tool. It can be a proactive practice. You can use it at the start of your day to set your tone. You can use it before a difficult conversation, a stressful task, or any moment you know may challenge you. You can even use it to prepare for sleep, deal with a heavy emotion, or to change your mindset before an important decision. The more often you use it, the more natural it becomes to reach for it in tense moments. Eventually, breathing this way stops being something you have to remember. It becomes part of who you are. You begin to walk through life with a calm that others can feel. You become someone who stays calm even under stress. You no longer react to every problem. You choose where to put your energy, watch your words, and think before acting. This isn't detachment, it's strength. The best part is how it helps your relationship with yourself. When you pause and breathe, you tell your body and mind that you matter, that your inner world needs care, that you don't have to be driven by stress, anger, or fear, that you can meet your needs in a healthy way. This builds trust with yourself. You start to believe that no matter what happens, you can handle it without losing yourself. There is a version of you that responds with grace. A version that doesn't explode when frustrated, that doesn't panic when unsure, that doesn't run away when challenged. That version isn't a fantasy, it's you with practice. It's you with intention. And it starts with one breath, then another, then another. In a world that often demands hurry, breath reminds you to slow down. In a culture that values reaction, it helps you find time to think. It's not about being passive. It's about being clear, being able to choose your energy instead of being controlled by it. That's how you regain control. That's how you protect your peace. So the next time life pushes hard against you, don't rush to respond. Let your breath come first. Let it create space. Let it soften the edges of your reaction. Let it lead you back to who you want to be. And let it remind you, calm is not a luxury. It is your greatest power. Available in every moment, as close as your next breath. Chapter 7. Set small daily goals that grow your confidence. Every day, you're given a quiet chance to become stronger, not in big, loud, dramatic ways, but through small actions that shape how you see yourself. Confidence isn't something you're either born with or without. It's something you build slowly, step by step, through steady effort and self-respect. One of the easiest and most effective ways to build it is by setting small goals each day and completing them. These goals aren't meant to impress others or change your whole life overnight. They are the kind of goals that help you trust yourself, someone who shows up for themselves even when no one else is watching. It's easy to overlook the power of small wins. People often think they need to achieve something big to feel better about themselves, but that's not how confidence works. Confidence comes from showing yourself that you are capable, that you can be relied on, and that your efforts matter. When you set a simple goal for the day, something manageable, clear, and within your control, and you complete it, you create a moment of self-respect. And that's what confidence is made of. Repeated proof to yourself that you are worthy of belief. The goals you set don't have to be big, they just have to be yours. One morning, your goal might be to take a 10-minute walk. Another day, it might be to drink enough water or to speak kindly to yourself when you think negative thoughts. Maybe you decide to clean a small part of your space or reach out to someone you've been avoiding. These tasks may seem simple, but every time you set one and complete it, you're telling yourself a strong message. I can finish what I start. I follow through. I keep my word. What makes this practice life-changing is the consistency. Anyone can be motivated for a day or two, but people who grow into strong, steady, self-respecting versions of themselves are the ones who keep going, even when the excitement fades. When you make daily goals a regular part of your life, you begin to carry a quiet confidence with you. Not because everything is perfect, but because you know how to keep moving forward one step at a time. Stop waiting for a magical breakthrough. Understand that each breakthrough is made up of small steps you didn't give up on. Another great part of this practice is the control it gives you. Life is unpredictable. You can't control others' behavior. You can't always change your situation overnight. But you can wake up and choose what kind of person you want to be today. You can set a goal that moves you, even a little, toward that person. That alone makes you powerful. That alone gives you purpose, even when things feel unsure. Some days you'll feel strong and full of energy. Other days you'll feel tired or down. That's why it's important to adjust your goals based on how you feel. The point isn't to be perfect or to perform. The point is to keep a promise to yourself, even if it's small. When you're low, your goal might simply be to breathe deeply for 5 minutes or take a shower. That still counts. That still builds something in you. The goal isn't how big the action is, it's the message you send yourself by showing up. What often stops people isn't a lack of skill, it's thinking their effort doesn't matter. But it does. Every time you finish what you plan to do, no matter how small, you build your sense of trust in yourself. That's how you go from self-doubt to self-trust. It's not about being confident before you start. It's about gaining that confidence through action. You do, then you become. That's the way. You learn to value progress as movement. You stop waiting for perfection and start honoring effort. You see how small wins build big changes. One finished goal might not change your life today, but over time they change how you move through the world. They affect your posture, your voice, your choices. They help you speak with more confidence and carry yourself with more self-belief. Not because everything is easy, but because you've learned to act even when things are tough. Setting daily goals teaches you discipline without punishment. You don't need to be hard on yourself to grow. You don't need to shame yourself into action. Instead, you use clarity and kindness. You decide what matters to you and make space for it in your day. You become someone who creates direction rather than waiting for it to happen. That's where real strength is found, in choosing to guide your life in a meaningful way, even when no one else is doing it for you. And if you ever miss a goal, that's fine. Missing one doesn't erase your progress. It's just a reminder to return, not to restart from zero, but to continue. Growth doesn't disappear when you stumble. It deepens when you decide not to stay down. What matters most is how quickly you return to your path, and how much kindness you give yourself in the process. That's how people who grow for life think. They don't chase perfection. They stay committed to becoming. You may notice that over time the goals you set begin to shift. What once felt hard now feels easy. What once felt far away now feels close. That's a sign of your growth. As your confidence increases, you begin to stretch yourself naturally, not out of pressure, but out of curiosity and strength. You begin to explore new possibilities because you believe in your ability to figure things out. That kind of confidence lasts. Not a loud or showy kind, but a steady, earned, unshakable kind built daily, built honestly, built by you. So when you wake up tomorrow, ask yourself one question. What small goal can I set today that will make me feel proud? Then do it. Let it be simple. Let it be doable. Let it reflect what matters to you. And when you complete it, take a moment to acknowledge what you just did, because that moment is bigger than it seems. That's the moment you grow. That's the moment you become someone who doesn't just dream of change, but lives it, step by step, one goal at a time. Chapter 8. Surround yourself with people who lift you up. The people you allow into your life influence more than just your mood. They shape your habits, your standards, your beliefs about what's possible for you. If you're surrounded by individuals who drain your energy, doubt your ideas, or minimize your growth, it becomes harder to stay strong, even if you're deeply committed to your path. But when you're with people who support your growth, who truly celebrate your successes, and who remind you of your value even on bad days, everything feels more achievable. You start to rise higher without having to try as hard because the energy around you helps you, not hinders you. We often forget how much our surroundings matter. You can be doing all the right things, reading books, setting goals, and practicing self-awareness. But if the voices in your daily life bring you down or fill you with doubt, it will take twice as much effort to keep going. That's not because you're weak. It's because no one thrives alone or in negativity. Humans are social beings. We are influenced by what we hear, what we feel, and what we take in from those closest to us. Choosing your circle wisely isn't about judging others or cutting people off in anger. It's about protecting your inner peace. Your mindset is important, and you should take care of it. You don't need many people to support you. Even one person who truly believes in you can make a big difference. Their belief in you helps you see your own strength more clearly. Sometimes it can be hard to accept that some people you know, work with, or love are no longer right for the person you are becoming. This can be tough, but growing beyond someone is not mean. It's honest. When you stop trying to fit yourself into a smaller space to stay close to them, you start to feel freer. You then create room for relationships based on respect and inspiration, not guilt or duty. People who help you grow can come in different forms. Some people challenge you in a way that feels hard at first, but helps you grow. Others give you calm and safety when you feel stressed. Some make you laugh when you need it, and some inspire you by showing how to live with integrity. All these people matter. The key is to feel better, not worse, when you're with them. You know someone is good for your growth when you leave feeling more motivated, not insecure. When you share your dreams and they listen without laughing or doubting. When you fail and they remind you it's not the end. When you struggle and they help without making you feel like a burden. These are true signs of support. These are the relationships that give energy, not take it away. As you think about who to keep close, ask yourself this. Do I feel stronger or weaker after being around this person? Do I have to hide who I really am to keep things peaceful? Do I feel heard, or do I always have to struggle to be part of the conversation? These are not selfish questions. They're important for survival because your energy is valuable, your time is limited, and the people around you either help you grow or they slowly tear down what you're trying to build. You are not meant to carry the weight of everyone else's fears. When someone always puts their limits on your life, it's not about your ability, it's about their pain. But if you take in those doubts long enough, you start to see them as facts. That's why it's so important to be around people who can see beyond the fear. People who have done their own inner work or are committed to doing it are far less likely to hold you back. They understand what growth feels like, and they know how much courage it takes. Even if you're currently feeling alone or unsupported, you are not stuck. You can start today by finding new voices. Read from people with different views. Listen to those who speak with energy and purpose. Join places where your ideas are accepted, not mocked. Be the kind of person you want to meet. Be generous with your help. Encourage others without keeping track. Lead with honesty and kindness. The right people will notice that and respond. It's not about making a perfect group. It's about finding people who are real, honest, and want to grow, just like you. They might not always agree with you, but they won't try to tear you down. They'll challenge you with love, not shame. They'll see your effort, even when the results aren't clear yet. And they'll remind you of your strength when you forget it. That's what lifting someone up means, not saving them, but reminding them of their strength. As you grow, the right people will be easier to spot. They will feel good to be with. You won't have to explain yourself all the time. You will feel understood without trying hard, and your energy will be safe, not drained. You will see that you are not carrying everything alone, not because life got easier, but because you let others help and picked the right people. Your success, peace, and healing are greatly affected by who is around you. You deserve to be with people who see your worth, not those who dim your light. You should have talks that inspire you and make you feel good. You should have friends who grow with you, not ones who hold you back. You should get support because you are worth it, not out of pity. This is essential, not extra. When you are supported, you grow faster, heal quicker, dream bigger, and stay true to yourself, even when life is tough. So don't settle for shallow relationships. Don't keep people close just because they've always been there. Choose your friends as carefully as you choose your thoughts and actions, because the people around you help shape your journey, and with strong friends, you become stronger. Chapter 9. Write down every thought and study your patterns. Many people go through life reacting to their thoughts without ever questioning where those thoughts come from. People think that if a thought comes to mind, it must be important. But the mind is not always honest, and it isn't always kind. Thoughts come from many places: childhood, trauma, media, fears, stories we've heard, things we've taken in without knowing. If you don't watch and understand the patterns in those thoughts, they will keep affecting your life in ways you don't see. The only way to take control is to write them down, study them, and face what's been quietly running in the background of your life. When you sit with a pen and paper and let your thoughts flow without stopping them, something amazing happens. You start to see what you're really thinking. Not the polished version, not what you tell others, but the true raw layers under your daily actions. You'll notice the thoughts that whisper, "I'm not good enough," the ones that say, "What if I fail?" or even the ones that make you work too much, harm yourself, or avoid people you care about. These thoughts lose their power once you see them clearly. It's not about judging yourself for having dark or painful thoughts. It's about seeing them for what they are. Old habits, hidden fears, outdated beliefs. By writing them down, you create space between yourself and your mind. You start to see that you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. And from that place of awareness, you gain the power to choose what to keep and what to let go. Start simply. Don't worry about writing something poetic or deep. Write what comes up without editing yourself. I feel anxious today. I don't think I'm doing enough. I'm scared no one understands me. Just let it out. As you build this habit, patterns will start to become clear. You'll notice the same themes coming up. Maybe a fear of rejection, or a tendency to expect the worst, or a constant need to prove your worth. These patterns are the outline of your inner life. Once you see them, you can begin to understand why certain situations trigger you, why you react a certain way, why you repeat the same emotional cycles. This is not about obsessing over every thought. It's about getting curious. It's about noticing. Interesting. I always feel this tightness when I have to speak up, or every time I try to rest I feel guilty. The more you observe, the more you begin to question, where did this come from? That question leads to powerful answers. You'll remember things, moments you dismissed, things adults said when you were young, experiences that left a mark but were never processed. Those memories are often stored in thoughts that replay over and over, disguised as self-doubt or overthinking. Writing lets you see your thoughts from a distance. That space makes a big difference. Without it, you're stuck in your thoughts, getting pushed around by them. But with a journal, you're on the shore, watching the waves, learning their pattern. You start to see what causes the storm and how to calm it. You learn when to pay attention and when to let a thought go. You'll also see how your thoughts affect your feelings. A single sentence like "I always mess things up" can lead to sadness, frustration, or hopelessness if you don't question it. But if you write it down and ask, is this really true? When did I start thinking this? What proof do I have for the opposite? You regain control. You start to replace reaction with reflection, and slowly your emotional responses change. Not because you make yourself be positive, but because you're getting rid of negative thinking, one written word at a time. Some thoughts will surprise you with their strength, others will seem small at first. But when you see them every day in your writing, you'll realize they're shaping your whole mood. Some days your writing will feel like a release, letting out all the pressure you didn't know was building inside. Other days it will feel like a quiet talk with your true self, the part of you that watches patiently, that wants you to heal, that has been waiting for you to slow down and listen. Over time, your journal becomes a mirror of your inner growth. You'll see how far you've come. You'll see entries from weeks ago that once felt overwhelming but now seem distant and solved. You'll track your growth, not just in how you think, but in how you respond to your thoughts. This awareness changes your life because it changes how you see your own mind. The more you do this, the more you'll trust yourself. You'll trust that you can handle discomfort, face fears without running away, and clear up confusion without needing others to explain your life. You'll gain a confidence based on knowing yourself, not on how well you perform. When you understand your mind, it won't control you anymore. You won't believe every anxious thought or follow every doubt. You pause, write, think, and from that calm, you make better choices. Some people say they don't have time to write or don't know where to start, but it's not about time, it's about clarity. A few honest sentences each day can change how you think, feel, and act. You don't need fancy prompts or perfect grammar. You just need to be true to yourself. If you can commit to that, even for 5 minutes a day, you'll start to discover a truth that only you can find. Your own. This isn't just a habit, it's a way to understand who you've been, who you are, and who you are becoming. It's a special act of slowing down, seeing your inner world, and linking your thoughts to your life. When you do this regularly, you start to trust your own voice again. You begin to see that beneath all the noise and fear from the outside world, your wisdom has always been there, waiting to be heard. And through the simple act of writing, you're finally listening. Chapter 10. Turn failures into lessons. You'll never forget. Failure is not the enemy of success, but an important part of the journey that often gets misunderstood. Many see failure as a sign of defeat, a reflection of their limits, or a reason to stop trying. But the truth is that failure is one of the best teachers you will ever meet. It shows weaknesses you might not see otherwise. It makes you face hard truths about your choices and mindset. And if you are open to it, it gives lessons that become the base for future wins you will always remember. The first step in turning failure into a lesson is to change how you see failure. It is not a permanent state or a label that defines you. Failure is an event, an experience outside of who you are deep down. It is a signal, not a verdict. When you fail, something went wrong in your approach or situation, but that does not mean you are broken or unworthy. It means you have new information to work with. It's a chance to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Often, the pain of failure comes from the stories we tell ourselves about it. We create stories filled with shame, regret, or hopelessness. These stories keep us stuck. When you experience failure, your mind might think, "I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed," or "this means I should quit." But these stories are just thoughts, not facts. You have the power to change the story. Instead of seeing failure as a final defeat, see it as important feedback. Each failure teaches you something about what to do differently next time. Learning from failure requires honesty and humility. You must be willing to look clearly at what happened without excuses or blame. Ask yourself hard questions. What choices led to this outcome? Where could I have taken more care or been more strategic? What did I overlook? What internal beliefs held me back? This process isn't about self-criticism. It's about deep reflection and self-awareness. Only when you face the truth of your failures with openness can you learn important lessons that will shape your future. Remember, failure is never the same as defeat, unless you let it be. Many successful people have faced big failures, but refused to be defined by them. They chose to see each setback as a step forward rather than a block. They treated their failures as short-term and valuable experiences that showed what to improve. You can do the same. The lessons you learn from failure become part of your inner toolkit, helping you handle challenges with more skill and less fear. One of the greatest benefits of failure is that it shows your resilience. When you fall and get back up again, you prove to yourself that you can endure hardship. This endurance strengthens your confidence and mental toughness. You become less afraid of mistakes because you know you can survive them. That shift in mindset is profound. It frees you from paralysis and hesitation, allowing you to take action even when the outcome is uncertain. Failure also encourages creativity and flexibility. When one approach doesn't work, you're pushed to find another way. This process sparks innovation and personal growth. You learn to adapt, experiment, and think outside the box. The lessons you take from failure aren't just about fixing mistakes, they're about discovering new possibilities that wouldn't have appeared if everything had gone smoothly. Failure forces you to expand your thinking and open new doors. It's important to note that not every failure will have an immediate or obvious lesson. Sometimes it takes time for the meaning to become clear. Patience and reflection are necessary. Writing about your failures, talking with trusted friends or mentors, or simply sitting quietly with the experience can help you uncover insights you missed at first. This ongoing examination deepens your understanding and transforms failure from a painful memory into a source of wisdom. Turning failure into lasting lessons also means letting go of perfectionism. Fear of failure often stops people before they start. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of themselves. But perfection is not real, and waiting for it only delays progress. When you accept that failure is part of the process, you free yourself to try, experiment, and learn. You become more willing to take risks, knowing that any failure is a valuable teacher. Another way to ensure you never forget the lessons of failure is to write them down. Journaling your experiences, the emotions involved, and the insights gained creates a record that you can revisit when doubts arise. This written account becomes a roadmap of your growth. It reminds you that failure is temporary, and it points to the knowledge and strength you've developed. Over time, this collection of lessons builds a powerful story of perseverance and wisdom. Failure teaches humility and empathy. When you face setbacks, you understand others' struggles better. You see that everyone has obstacles and doubts. This understanding deepens your compassion, making you a better friend, leader, and person. Lessons from failure improve your life and help you support and inspire others. Failure is a teacher in disguise. By changing your mindset, being honest and reflecting on your experiences, you turn failure into lasting lessons. These lessons fuel resilience, creativity, and growth. They free you from fear and open new possibilities. When you honor failure as part of your journey, you move from fearing setbacks to mastering them. This mastery leads to lasting success and peace. When you fail, don't pull back or blame yourself. Instead, face the discomfort with curiosity and bravery. Think about what you can learn from this experience. Look for the reason behind the loss. Take what helps you grow and let go of the rest. This way, you don't just survive failure, you grow from it. The lessons you learn become a strong base for all your future successes. Failure becomes your guide, not your enemy. Chapter 11. Build a morning routine that clears your mind. Starting your day with purpose gives you clarity that affects everything that comes after. A morning routine is more than a list of tasks. It's a practice that helps your mind and body stay focused and calm. When you manage your mornings, you take charge of your entire day. With this clarity, you can handle challenges with less distraction and more focus, helping you escape negative thoughts that often cloud your mind. Creating a morning routine to boost clarity starts with knowing what your mind needs when you first wake up. The moments after sleep are sensitive and powerful. If you immediately dive into chaos, scrolling on your phone, rushing, or reacting to urgent needs, you risk starting the day feeling scattered and reactive. Instead, aim to create a calm environment for your mind to gently wake up. This can be as simple as sitting quietly for a few minutes, focusing on your breath, or gently stretching your body to signal that you are present and ready. One of the best ways to bring clarity into your morning is through intentional breathing. Taking slow, deep breaths keeps your focus in the present moment. This practice calms the nervous system and reduces the early morning fog that can cause anxious or scattered thoughts. Even just a few breaths, focusing only on the inhale and exhale, clears your mind. This clarity is key for clear thinking and good decision-making throughout the day. Another important part of a clarity-boosting routine is setting an intention for the day. This is different from a to-do list. An intention is a guiding principle, a reminder of who you want to be or how you want to act. It might be a phrase like, "I will act with patience," or "I choose progress over perfection," or "I will listen more than I speak." Saying this intention aloud or writing it down helps your brain focus on your values over distractions. When challenges come up, you can return to this anchor to guide your actions and thoughts. Adding movement to your morning routine sharpens your mind as well. Physical activity, even gentle stretching or walking, releases chemicals in the brain that improve focus and mood. Movement tells your body it's time to engage with the world, helping you shake off tiredness and get ready for the day. It's important that this movement feels good rather than exhausting. The goal is to energize your mind without overwhelming it. Many people find that journaling in the morning brings clarity like nothing else. Writing your thoughts down helps organize your mind and stops worries from spinning around. A simple practice is to write 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things you want to do, and any thoughts or feelings you want to release. This habit clears your mind of clutter and centers your focus on what truly matters. Over time, morning journaling can reveal patterns in your thinking and show areas where you need to change your mindset. Drinking water right after waking up helps your mind stay sharp. Sleep makes you dehydrated, and water helps your body and brain start working. Drinking water first thing stops you from feeling slow and helps you focus. Having water with a healthy breakfast gives you the energy to stay focused all morning. Setting limits in your morning routine is as important as the activities you do. This means not checking emails, social media, or news right when you wake up. Those inputs often have noise and urgency that can pull your focus in many directions before you can get your mind ready. Instead, keep the first moments of your day as special time for yourself. This limit builds mental discipline and lowers reactive thinking caused by outside distractions. Consistency is key for morning routines that boost clarity. The benefits grow when you follow the same habits daily, letting your mind and body get used to this pattern. Over time, your routine signals your nervous system that it's time to be alert, focused, and calm. This helps lower morning anxiety and negative thoughts because your brain expects a peaceful, intentional start. It's also key to remember that your morning routine should serve you, not add more pressure. It's not about being perfect or following a strict plan, but about making a base that feels strong and lasting. Some mornings you might need more rest or gentleness, and that's fine. Being flexible with your routine lets you respect your needs without losing your goal to bring clarity to your day. The power of a morning routine goes beyond the first hour. It affects how you handle stress, make choices, and interact with others. When your mind is clear, you respond to problems instead of reacting quickly. You are less likely to be taken over by negative thoughts or distractions because you've already set yourself in calm and purpose. This clarity helps you grow and stops the cycle of negativity that can otherwise slow down your progress. Creating a morning routine that helps you think clearly is a way to take care of yourself. It's a promise to give yourself calm, focus, and purpose every day. This routine gives you a strong start, helping you handle life with more strength and confidence. Starting your day with clear thoughts sets a good tone for the rest of the day. It allows room for positive thinking, careful actions, and steady growth. Choosing to have this routine is a choice to leave behind chaos and negativity, one morning at a time. Chapter 12. Pick progress over perfection in every case. Perfection can stop you from making real progress. It's easy to wait for the perfect time, the perfect plan, or the perfect version of yourself before taking action. This way of thinking keeps you stuck, turning small steps into huge obstacles. Choosing progress over perfection means focusing on steady action instead of perfect outcomes. It means valuing movement, even if it's not perfect, as the true way to grow and succeed. When you focus on progress, you accept that mistakes, setbacks, and imperfections are part of the journey. This acceptance frees you from the paralysis caused by perfectionism. Instead of fearing failure or judgment, you start seeing every attempt as a valuable step toward your goals. You build momentum by acting even when conditions aren't ideal, trusting that improvement comes through practice, not instant mastery. Choosing progress requires courage because it asks you to embrace uncertainty. You won't always have everything figured out, and that's okay. The key is to move forward despite the unknown. Action generates clarity. When you start, you learn what works and what doesn't. You gain new insights that shape your next steps. Progress, even if messy, brings you closer to your vision than waiting for an unattainable standard ever will. This way of thinking also changes how you deal with problems. Instead of seeing them as signs you're not good enough, you see them as feedback. Each challenge teaches you what to change, what to let go, or where to put in more effort. Progress turns problems into lessons rather than barriers. It builds strength because you know that moving forward is always possible, even if it's slow. Perfectionism often hides behind the fear of criticism or shame. But when you choose progress, you care less about what others think. You focus on your growth instead of approval. This change builds confidence and self-trust. You start to believe in your ability to learn and adapt, not in some fixed idea of perfect that isn't real. Another key part of choosing progress is breaking big goals into smaller steps. Big goals can feel scary and make you want everything to be perfect. By setting smaller, reachable goals, you get a series of wins that keep you going. Each small win builds confidence and makes you feel less pressure to be perfect right away. This method also encourages trying new things. Progress happens when you can try new things without being scared of making mistakes. When you stop aiming for perfection, you open yourself to new ideas. You find new opportunities because you're not stuck by strict rules or fear of mistakes. Progress needs flexibility and adaptability, which are key for growth. Choosing progress over perfection changes how you see your goals and how you treat yourself. It promotes kindness and patience. You start to value effort, not just results. You realize that growth is a slow process, and pushing too hard often fails. This view helps you have a better relationship with yourself, lowering stress and burnout. Progress works because small steps add up over time. Making small changes often leads to big results. When you focus on progress, you create habits that help you grow. Each day is a chance to move ahead. Even small efforts add up, changing your mindset and life more than trying to be perfect ever could. In daily life, choosing progress means starting tasks even if you're not ready. It means speaking up even if your words aren't perfect. It means finishing projects without worrying about every detail. It means forgiving yourself for mistakes and getting back on track. These choices make you stronger and help you keep learning, which is what personal growth is all about. When you choose progress, you take back control of your story. You stop waiting for the perfect time and take charge of your growth now. This change allows you to gain momentum, build strength, and achieve more than you thought possible. Progress becomes a way of thinking that drives every part of your life. Choosing progress over perfection is a powerful act of self-empowerment. It frees you from unrealistic standards and your own limits. It invites you to fully engage with your journey, learning from every experience without fear or shame. By valuing progress, you open the door to ongoing growth, deeper happiness, and lasting success. Chapter 13. Cut off harmful media that feeds your fear. Today, media is everywhere, shaping how we see reality and ourselves. Sadly, much of the media we consume aims to create fear, anxiety, and division. News thrives on drama. Social media spreads outrage and negativity. Ads create urgency and insecurity. If not controlled, this harmful media can seep into your mind, feeding your fears and strengthening negative thoughts. Protecting your mental and emotional space by avoiding harmful media is key to escaping these harmful cycles. Understanding toxic media starts with knowing how it affects your brain. Fear triggers the body's survival response, releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. When you keep consuming fear content, your nervous system stays on high alert. This constant stress reduces your ability to think clearly, stay calm, and act wisely. It becomes hard to see solutions or opportunities because your mind is overwhelmed by perceived threats. Your view becomes narrow, and negativity becomes the default lens through which you see your life. Cutting off toxic media means being careful about what you let into your mental space. You need to make a choice to focus on your well-being instead of always staying informed or connected. This isn't about ignoring reality or being naive. It's about choosing to engage with information that helps you rather than hurts you. You should consume content that makes you feel good, helps you grow, and brings peace instead of causing fear and worry. Start by looking at the sources you often use. Notice how you feel after using each one. Do you feel tired, worried, or hopeless? These are signs that the content is bad for you. It could be a news source that exaggerates disasters, a social media feed with angry comments, or entertainment that highlights violence or sadness. Recognizing these sources is the first step to clearing your mind. Next, set limits on your media use. Choose specific times to check the news or social media instead of letting it take over your whole day. Limit your exposure to news or posts that cause fear or anger. Instead, do activities that relax you, like reading a book, meditating, walking, or talking with supportive people. These limits help you stay focused and keep negative thoughts away. Be careful about your media choices. Follow channels, podcasts, and publications that offer balanced views and useful information. Pick content that motivates you, teaches new skills, or tells positive stories. This kind of media helps your mind and builds strength. Over time, you'll see a change in how you view the world and yourself. Be aware of online algorithms that control what you see. These systems often show content that triggers strong emotions to boost engagement. Sadly, fear and anger are common triggers. Be careful about what you click, watch, and share. Try not to spread fear-based messages, even if it's tempting. Being aware of this helps you have more control over your mental space. Staying away from harmful media also means noticing the small ways fear gets into daily content. Even harmless-looking entertainment can support negative ideas or gloomy views. Think critically about the stories you take in. Ask if they help you grow or just increase your anxiety. Choose to spend time on media that broadens your view and matches your values. By cutting down on fear-driven media, you make room in your mind for what truly matters. You get better at thinking clearly and acting with purpose. This clear thinking helps you break negative habits because you're not feeding them with outside negativity. Instead, you're building a mindset based on peace, possibilities, and strength. Cutting off toxic media is not a one-time thing, but an ongoing effort. As new sources and trends come up, keep checking how they affect your mind. Stay alert to creeping negativity and be ready to adjust your limits as needed. This takes courage because it means going against the pressure to always stay connected. But it also brings freedom. Freedom to choose your own thoughts and feelings instead of being controlled by the media's agenda. You might face pushback from people who don't get why you limit media exposure. Some may call you ignorant or out of touch. Stand firm in your choice because your mental health and growth matter most. Explain that your goal is not to avoid reality but to engage with it more clearly and usefully. Your example can even encourage others to rethink their own media habits. Ultimately, cutting off toxic media that feeds your fear is a sign of self-respect and bravery. It protects your inner peace and helps you break negative thinking patterns. By managing your media intake, you regain your mental space and focus on what helps you grow. This choice makes you stronger, clearer, and builds a positive mindset even in tough times. You create a calm and strong base that leads to a better life. Chapter 14. Accept what you cannot change peacefully. Acceptance brings inner peace and strength. It is not giving up, but choosing to see things as they are, without fighting or denying. When you accept what you can't change peacefully, you stop struggling with things out of your control. This freedom brings calm, clarity, and strength to focus on what you can change. Many people spend a lot of energy trying to control things they can't. They think too much about past mistakes, worry about the future, or hold on to hopes that won't happen. This fight causes stress and pain because it goes against reality. Acceptance eases this stress. It helps you face life with openness instead of fighting, saving your energy for important actions. To accept what can't be changed, start by spotting things truly out of your control. These could be other people's choices, natural events, past actions, or even your own limits. Seeing these facts clearly helps avoid wasting effort on impossible goals. Accept these truths calmly, without judging them as good or bad. They just are. This calm view is the base of peaceful acceptance. Peaceful acceptance does not mean ignoring problems or becoming passive. It means knowing where your influence ends and starts. When you see your limits, you can focus on areas where you can make a difference. Knowing what you can and cannot change is key for living well. It stops frustration and helps you make conscious choices. Sometimes acceptance means facing tough emotions like grief, anger, or disappointment. These feelings come naturally when dealing with unchangeable situations. Instead of pushing them away, let yourself feel them fully. Accepting your feelings is part of accepting the situation. Through this, emotions lose power and you find peace in the chaos. Acceptance also means letting go of specific outcomes. Often, suffering comes from strict expectations that reality should match our wants. When things turn out differently, we resist. Letting go of attachment is a practice of humility and trust. It understands that life is unpredictable and that peace comes from adapting instead of controlling. One way to practice acceptance is through mindfulness. Notice when your mind fights reality. When you replay events, blame or resist what is happening. Gently bring your focus back to the present and remind yourself, this is how things are now. Mindfulness teaches the mind to observe without judgment, reducing suffering caused by resistance. Another important part is self-compassion. Accepting what cannot change includes accepting yourself, your flaws, past mistakes, and current limits. Self-compassion softens harsh self-criticism and encourages a kind inner voice. This kindness helps you face life's challenges without falling into despair. Acceptance encourages you to trust life's process. While some things stay the same, life is always changing and can be surprising. By accepting uncertainty and change, you become more flexible and strong. You learn to go with life's changes instead of fighting them, finding peace in each moment no matter what happens around you. When you make acceptance a habit, it changes how you handle stress and problems. Challenges no longer seem too hard, but just part of life's flow. This change helps you stay calm and act wisely, saving your mental and emotional energy. Peaceful acceptance becomes a strength, not a weakness. Fully accepting life also makes you more thankful. By seeing things as they are, you notice the little good things, even in tough times. Gratitude and acceptance go together, making your outlook better and boosting your well-being. Together they build a base for lasting happiness. It's important to see that acceptance is a practice, not a one-time thing. It takes patience and persistence because the mind naturally resists giving in. Regular reflection, meditation, or journaling can help with this practice. Thinking about what can and cannot be changed strengthens your commitment to peaceful acceptance. In relationships, acceptance brings harmony and understanding. When you stop trying to change others or control situations, you make room for connection and empathy. This openness lowers conflict and builds compassion, improving your interactions. Ultimately, accepting what you cannot change with peace is wise and brave. It frees you from unnecessary suffering and grounds you in reality. This acceptance helps you focus your energy where it matters most, building resilience, clarity, and joy. Choosing acceptance is choosing freedom, a freedom that comes from fully accepting life as it is. Chapter 15. Act daily even when your mind resists. Doing something every day, especially when your mind resists, is one of the best habits for lasting growth. Resistance often comes from discomfort, fear, or uncertainty. It is normal for the mind to avoid challenges and choose ease. Yet real progress needs you to move forward despite these internal barriers. Discipline means acting in line with your goals even when motivation fades or doubts come in. The ability to push through resistance separates those who succeed from those who stay stuck. Resistance is not a sign to stop. It is a signal that you are stepping outside your comfort zone and growing. Every big change involves discomfort because it challenges set patterns. Your brain likes familiar routines because they use less energy. When you try to change habits or set new goals, your mind resists because it's not used to it. Understanding that this is normal can help you see resistance as a friend, not an enemy. It shows you're on the right track and forming new brain patterns. To beat mental resistance, start with small steps. Big goals can make you feel overwhelmed and want to avoid action. Break tasks into small, quick steps. Even 1 minute of effort is progress. By doing this regularly, you reduce resistance over time. As your brain gets used to new actions, you build momentum and confidence. Having a clear plan each day helps reduce doubt. When your actions are unclear, your mind feels uncertain. Knowing what to do removes doubt and excuses. Make a simple list of tasks each morning or the night before. Find 1 or 2 main steps that will help you reach your goals. Promise to do these tasks no matter what. This clear focus helps you move forward and clears your mind. Another good strategy is to create routines that don't need much willpower. Habits are strong because they make actions automatic and need less effort. Connect your new actions to habits you already have, or daily prompts. For example, if you want to write, do it right after brushing your teeth. This way, your brain connects the new action to a well-known trigger, making it easier to stick to. Over time, these steady patterns become part of your daily life. Sometimes fear of failing or not being perfect stops you. Your mind wants to protect you by telling you to wait until everything is perfect or you feel ready. This is a trap that leads to putting things off and doubting yourself. Accept that doing things imperfectly is better than not doing them at all. Progress comes from trying and learning. Learn as you go. Taking imperfect steps builds courage and breaks the idea that everything must be perfect before you start. Accountability can help overcome resistance. Share your goals with trusted friends, mentors, or groups who support your growth. Knowing others are aware of your commitments adds external motivation to follow through. Regular check-ins and encouragement make it easier to show up consistently, especially on days when your mind pushes back hardest. When resistance feels overwhelming, practice self-compassion. Recognize that you are human and that struggling is part of change. Avoid harsh self-criticism that fuels negativity and discouragement. Instead, acknowledge your feelings and gently remind yourself why your goals matter. This kindness strengthens your resolve and prevents burnout. Visualizing the benefits of daily action can provide powerful motivation. Imagine how your life will get better, how your confidence will grow, or how your skills will improve. Picture yourself getting past challenges and feeling proud. This mental practice prepares your mind for success and makes obstacles seem less scary. Developing patience is key because progress often feels slow. Resistance is strongest when you don't see results right away. Remind yourself that growth is a process, and small, steady efforts add up to big changes. Celebrate each step forward, no matter how small, as proof of your dedication and strength. Finally, keep coming back to your purpose. When resistance strikes, reconnect with the deeper reasons behind your goals. Why do you want to change? What will achieving this bring to your life? Aligning your daily actions with your core values and vision gives meaning that goes beyond temporary discomfort. This sense of purpose fuels persistence even when your mind resists. Taking daily action despite resistance builds strength, discipline, and trust in yourself. It helps your mind accept challenges instead of avoiding them. Each time you push through discomfort, you increase your ability to handle tough situations. This growth not only helps you reach your goals, but also boosts your courage and clarity in life. By taking action every day, no matter the internal struggles, you create strong momentum to keep moving forward. You learn that progress comes from consistent choices, not just motivation. Resistance loses its power when faced with steady effort. This habit becomes the base for change, breaking bad cycles and unlocking your full potential. Chapter 16. Stay consistent with what makes you feel strong. Consistency is the key to lasting strength and growth. When you stick to the actions, habits, and mindsets that make you feel strong, you build a solid base for your life. Strength does not come from short bursts of effort, but from steady, deliberate practice over time. Each day that you choose to align with what empowers you, you reinforce your resilience and deepen your ability to face challenges. Understanding what makes you feel strong starts with self-awareness. It requires honest reflection on the activities, thoughts, and relationships that boost your energy and confidence. These may be practices like exercise, meditation, focused work, or moments of connection with loved ones. They could be mental habits such as positive self-talk, setting boundaries, or engaging in meaningful learning. Identifying these sources of strength is the first step to consistency because you cannot stay committed to something that doesn't genuinely support your well-being. Once you know what makes you stronger, the next step is to create a routine that includes these things regularly. Routines build structure, turning planned actions into automatic habits that are easier to keep up. Consistency reduces decision fatigue because your mind no longer debates whether or not to do things that empower you. They simply become part of your daily rhythm. This steady engagement nourishes your body, mind, and spirit in a lasting way. Staying consistent also means prioritizing your needs over outside demands that drain your energy. Life often pulls you in many directions, but choosing what makes you feel strong requires discipline to say no to distractions and duties that do not help you grow. Protecting your time and focus is a powerful act of self-respect that boosts your strength. Each time you honor this priority, you deepen your commitment to yourself. Challenges and setbacks will happen, but being consistent helps you stay strong during tough times. Regular habits become anchors when life gets rough, They give you a stable base to come back to, helping you stay balanced and clear-minded. Even when you're not motivated, these routines offer renewal and confidence. Consistency trains your mind to keep going no matter what happens around you. It also means focusing on progress, not perfection. Some days your energy will be low or you'll face many distractions, but showing up in some way is what counts. Small actions done consistently have more impact than random, intense efforts. This way of thinking frees you from needing to be perfect and supports steady growth. It reminds you that strength builds over time with persistent effort. Another key point is adjusting your habits as you grow. What makes you feel strong today might change as your needs and situation change. Staying consistent doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over without thinking. It means regularly checking in with yourself and changing your habits to keep supporting your well-being. This flexibility ensures your consistency stays meaningful and matches your current self. Accountability can help with consistency by giving you support and motivation from others. Sharing your goals and routines with trusted people creates a network of encouragement. When others know about your commitments, you are more likely to stick to them. Regular talks about your progress help keep you focused and inspired during tough times. Community strengthens your dedication to what makes you strong. Consistency also builds your self-trust. Each time you follow through on actions that make you feel strong, you show yourself that you are reliable and capable. This trust gives you confidence that spreads to other parts of life. You start to believe you can handle problems and grow with determination. Self-trust becomes a powerful support during uncertain times. Building consistency takes patience because the benefits come slowly. Strength from daily habits adds up over weeks and months, leading to changes in your body, mind, and emotions. Noticing and celebrating these small wins helps you stay committed. Patience and perseverance work together to turn routine actions into strong personal power. To stay consistent, set clear goals each day. Remind yourself why these actions are important and how they help your well-being. Picture the good results of sticking to what makes you feel strong. This mental boost keeps you motivated and focused. Intentionality turns routine into purposeful practice. When staying consistent feels hard, go back to your core values and purpose. Think about what strength means to you and how it supports your life goals. This deeper connection inspires persistence beyond fleeting emotions or situations. It anchors your commitment in something meaningful and lasting. Staying consistent with what makes you feel strong is a journey, not a destination. It needs ongoing attention, reflection, and adjustment. This journey deepens your self-awareness, sharpens your discipline, and builds your resilience. The more you stick to empowering practices, the stronger and more adaptable you become. This commitment creates a positive cycle where strength leads to more consistency and growth. You become better able to face challenges, seize opportunities, and live with confidence. By meeting your needs and being there for yourself every day, you create a life based on real strength and well-being. Regular effort turns plans into reality, making true strength your normal state. Chapter 17. Picture a future you really want to live. Imagining a future you really want to live is a strong way to shape your reality. It starts with making a clear and detailed mental image of the life you want, helping you connect deeply with your goals and values. When your vision is clear and inspiring, it guides your actions and choices. This clarity turns vague hopes into real motivation, turning dreams into doable plans. Visualization is not about wishful thinking or ignoring current problems. It is a mindful exercise that trains your mind to focus on good outcomes and possibilities. Your brain reacts to detailed mental images like they are real experiences. This response boosts your confidence and prepares you emotionally and mentally for the road ahead. Visualization helps you see the difference between where you are now and where you want to be. Start by figuring out what is most important to you. Think about the parts of your life that bring happiness, like relationships, career, health, personal growth, or giving back. Imagine what a happy future looks like in these areas. The clearer and more real your vision is, the more it connects with your inner self. Don't use vague or common ideas. Instead, create a detailed picture that you can think about often. Use all your senses in your visualization. Picture the sights, sounds, smells, and feelings of your future life. What does your surroundings look like? What emotions do you feel? Who is around you? This sensory detail makes the vision more convincing and real. Feeling joy, peace, or excitement for your future boosts your commitment and eagerness to achieve it. Spending regular time on visualization makes it more effective. Make this a daily habit, maybe in the morning or before bed. Doing it consistently strengthens your mental picture and keeps your goals clear. This focus helps you spot opportunities and make choices that match your vision. Visualization also improves problem-solving and creative thinking. When your mind has a clear goal, it naturally comes up with ideas and plans to overcome challenges. You become more resourceful and tough because you focus on possibilities, not limits. This positive mindset drives action and persistence. Don't let your vision turn into frustration or impatience. While imagining your ideal future, stay balanced and aware of the present moment. Use your vision as motivation instead of comparing yourself to others and feeling unhappy. Trust that growth takes time, and each step you take brings you closer to your goals. Make sure your daily actions match your vision. Use it to guide your decisions and priorities. Ask yourself if what you're doing now helps move you toward that future. This alignment creates harmony between your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, which is key for lasting progress. Sharing your vision with trusted people can deepen your commitment. Saying your goals out loud brings clarity and accountability. Supportive relationships encourage you and keep you on track to achieve your dreams. Community strengthens your belief in your potential and offers valuable feedback and support. Visualization builds confidence by letting you mentally practice success. Imagining yourself handling challenges and reaching milestones prepares you emotionally. This mental practice reduces stress and helps you face real-world situations calmly and confidently. Remember to update your vision as you grow and learn. Your desires and understanding of what brings you happiness may change. Revisiting and refining your mental picture keeps it relevant and inspiring. Flexibility in your vision supports adaptability in your journey. Visualizing a future you truly want to live is empowering. It changes your mindset from passive hope to active creation. This practice fosters optimism, determination, and clarity, helping you turn dreams into reality. By consistently engaging with your vision, you build a purposeful path that leads to meaningful and lasting fulfillment. Chapter 18. Build a daily habit of gratitude and reflection. Developing a daily habit of gratitude and reflection transforms your relationship with life and yourself. When practiced often, gratitude changes your focus from lack to plenty, letting you see the good even during tough times. Thinking deeply makes you more aware, helping you learn from experiences and match your actions with your values. These habits together build a mindset of growth, peace, and strength. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a choice to notice and value the good parts of your life, no matter how small. This change in view helps your brain see chances, kindness, and beauty that you might miss. Regularly noticing what you are thankful for lowers negative thoughts and boosts emotional health. It promotes optimism, which makes you stronger in facing hard times. To start, set aside a few minutes each day to focus on gratitude. This can be in the morning to begin with a positive outlook, or at night to think about the day's good moments. Write down 3 to 5 things you are thankful for. They can be simple, like the warmth of sunlight or a kind word from a friend. The key is consistency and sincerity. Over time, this practice trains your mind to look for positivity naturally. Reflection works with gratitude by letting you pause and think about your thoughts, feelings, and actions. It helps you see what you did well, what you can improve, and how you are moving toward your goals. This self-check is needed for real change. Through reflection, you connect with your inner wisdom and clarify your priorities. Do reflection by writing about your experiences, asking yourself good questions, or just sitting quietly in thought. Reflect on both good and tough times. What lessons appear? How did you react? What can you do differently next time? This turns daily experiences into valuable lessons, deepening your understanding of yourself. Gratitude and reflection create a balanced mindset. Gratitude makes you appreciate the good things, while reflection grounds you in reality and helps you grow. This balance stops complacency and keeps you motivated to improve without forgetting the blessings you have. These habits also help with emotional control. Gratitude lowers stress and anxiety by activating positive brain pathways. Reflection helps you manage emotions constructively instead of reacting impulsively. Together, they support mental clarity and emotional stability, which are key for breaking negative thinking. Consistency is important. Like any habit, gratitude and reflection need daily attention. Use reminders like alarms, journals, or apps to keep practicing. Making it part of your routine makes long-term success more likely and helps these habits become part of who you are. You might find that gratitude improves your relationships. Seeing and showing appreciation for others builds connection and kindness. Thinking about things helps you speak more clearly and understand others better. These social benefits support your emotional health and create a helpful environment for growth. There might be hard days when gratitude and reflection are tough. During these times, focus on small positives or lessons learned. Even noticing your strength is a way to show gratitude. Reflecting during tough times builds strength and gets you ready for future challenges. Over time, gratitude and reflection bring a deep feeling of happiness and purpose. They change your mindset from lack to plenty, from reacting to acting with intention. This change helps you escape negative thoughts and live with more happiness and clarity. Make gratitude and reflection a daily habit. Let them guide your thoughts, shape your actions, and lift your spirit. This choice is a big step towards always getting better and living a good life. Through these simple habits, you build a base of strength and wisdom that helps in all parts of your journey. Chapter 19. Learn to rest without feeling guilty and regain energy. Rest is often seen as a luxury or a treat rather than an important part of a balanced and productive life. Learning to rest without guilt is key for keeping energy, clarity, and strength. Rest refreshes the body and mind, restores focus, and gets you ready to face challenges with new strength. Ignoring the need for rest or feeling guilty about taking breaks only drains your energy and limits what you can do. The first step toward guilt-free rest is understanding that rest is not the opposite of productivity, but its base. Just like a car can't run without refueling, your body and mind need regular breaks to work well. When you let yourself rest, you respect your humanity and help yourself perform at your best. This mindset turns rest from a reward for hard work into a key part of well-being. Many people feel guilty about resting because society pressures us to always be busy or productive. This idea links worth to output and ignores the power of renewal. Challenging these beliefs is needed to fully accept rest. Know that resting boosts your effectiveness, creativity, and emotional balance. It is a smart choice, not a sign of weakness or laziness. To rest without guilt, begin by planning intentional breaks into your day. These breaks can be short moments of calm, a walk outside, or a quick nap. Treat these breaks as set appointments with yourself. Regular rest helps manage stress and stops burnout. When you make rest a priority, your mind gets sharper and your decisions clearer. Creating a peaceful space helps you relax and recharge. Find places that feel calm and free from distractions. Use soft sounds, comfy seating, or natural light to help you relax and avoid interruptions while resting. Respect your need for recovery and tell your brain it's okay to relax. Learn to listen to your body's signs for rest. Feeling tired, grumpy, or having trouble focusing means your energy is low. Instead of pushing through, take a break with kindness. Paying attention to these signs stops exhaustion and helps you keep going. Over time, you get better at knowing your body's needs and rhythms. Rest also includes mental and emotional renewal. Activities like meditation, deep breathing, or journaling help clear your mind and ease tension. These habits promote mindfulness and presence, letting you come back to work with a new outlook. Mental rest boosts resilience by lowering anxiety and improving emotional control. It's important to distinguish rest from procrastination. Rest is intentional and refreshing, while procrastination is avoiding tasks out of fear or feeling overwhelmed. Building self-awareness helps you tell the difference. Use rest to recharge before tackling challenges, not to avoid duties. Setting boundaries around your time helps you rest better. Learn to say no to things that disrupt your recovery. Clearly communicate your needs and strongly protect your rest time. Boundaries create the space needed for renewal and strengthen your commitment to self-care. Resting without guilt means letting go of perfectionism. Trying to always do more or be better can stop you from taking breaks. Understand that rest is important and helps you grow. Give yourself permission to relax without feeling bad. Add restful habits to your daily routine to help you unwind. This could be reading, gentle stretching, or listening to calming music before bed. These routines bring consistency and make it easier to switch from being active to resting. They support the practice of valuing rest. Rest improves creativity and problem solving. When your mind is rested, it works better and comes up with new ideas. Taking breaks stops mental tiredness and allows for new thoughts. Resting helps you be more creative and flexible. Guilt-free rest also benefits your relationships. When you get enough rest, you speak more clearly, listen better, and respond more calmly. Rest helps you be more emotionally available and caring, making your bonds with others stronger. Building a healthy habit of resting is a continuous effort. It needs patience and kindness to yourself as you move away from old habits of overworking and welcome renewal. Think often about how rest affects your energy, mood, and work. This understanding strengthens your commitment and helps you make changes. In the end, resting without guilt honors your value beyond your achievements or productivity. It respects your limits and supports your potential. By regularly and purposely restoring energy, you create a lasting base for success and happiness. Rest is not a break from life. It is a key part of living well. Chapter 20. Keep showing up, even when growth feels slow. Growth rarely happens in a straight line or as quickly as we want. Progress often seems slow, uneven, and sometimes unseen. This can easily cause frustration, doubt, or the urge to quit. However, the key to change is simply continuing to show up. Persistence during slow progress builds strength, improves skills, and shapes character. It is the steady commitment that eventually leads to breakthroughs and lasting change. When growth feels slow, it's natural to question if your efforts are worth it. Doubts about your ability or the value of your goals may arise. These thoughts are normal, but should not define your journey. Slow growth does not mean failure. It means the process is taking its own time. Like nature's cycles, personal growth needs seasons of quiet preparation before results show. Trusting this rhythm helps you keep going even when progress isn't clear. Consistency is the key to overcoming discouragement. Each day you work towards your goals, no matter how small the action, you are planting seeds for future growth. These daily efforts add up beneath the surface, improving your skills, habits, and mindset. Being consistent changes your brain, builds discipline, and creates momentum. This steady pace is more effective than bursts of intense effort followed by long breaks. It helps you focus on the process rather than the outcome. Instead of worrying about how fast you change, pay attention to the quality and purpose of your actions. Celebrate your daily commitment, the lessons you learn, and the resilience you build. Understand that growth is about becoming stronger and wiser, not just reaching milestones. This mindset reduces pressure and fosters patience, making it easier to keep going. Setting realistic expectations supports long-term persistence. Remember that meaningful change takes time, effort, and repeated practice. Don't compare your progress to others or to perfect standards. Your journey is unique, and growth happens at your own pace. Accepting this reduces frustration and builds self-compassion. Tracking your progress, even small steps, can increase motivation. Keep a journal or log where you note daily actions, insights, or improvements. Over weeks and months, reviewing these records shows growth that you might miss otherwise. This proof of progress strengthens your commitment and confidence, especially during tough times. Building a support system helps you keep going. Surround yourself with people who encourage you and believe in your potential. Sharing your journey with others provides accountability and emotional support. Supportive relationships help you handle setbacks and stay determined. It's also important to develop ways to manage setbacks and plateaus. Growth doesn't always follow a straight path. It's normal to have times when you don't move forward or go backward. Instead of seeing these times as failures, use them to rethink, learn, and change your approach. Being strong means handling challenges in a positive way, not avoiding them. It's important to be kind to yourself when progress is slow. Treat yourself with understanding rather than being critical. Recognize the effort you're putting in and the bravery it takes to keep going. Kindness to yourself helps you keep going by reducing negative thoughts and encouraging positive ones. Motivational reminders help you stay focused. Think often about why you want to grow and the life you envision. Connect with your values and the deeper reason behind your actions. This connection gives you the emotional strength to keep going, even when progress is hard to see. Creating daily habits that support your commitment makes it easier to be consistent. Tying your efforts to certain times, places, or routines removes the need to constantly decide and creates order. These routines help you keep moving forward by making growth-focused habits part of your life. Thinking about small wins can boost your motivation. Picture the pride and satisfaction you'll feel as you keep going despite difficulties. This mental practice strengthens your drive and supports positive expectations. Keeping the right perspective helps handle impatience. Remind yourself that slow progress is still progress. Every moment spent learning, practicing, and persisting shapes your future self. The combined effect of small actions over time results in lasting change. Understand that perseverance builds character as much as it builds skills. The habit of showing up during tough times develops qualities like patience, courage, and integrity. These traits become valuable assets that improve all areas of your life beyond your immediate goals. Remember that real success doesn't happen quickly. Most achievements come from steady, ongoing work over time. Believing in the process means having faith in your ability to improve and knowing that your efforts count. Also, be open to changing your methods as you learn more about yourself and your goals. Being flexible helps you overcome challenges and keep making progress. Being adaptable while staying committed ensures you keep moving forward no matter what. Showing up even when growth is slow is a brave and wise act. It shows that change is a journey, not a destination. By choosing to persist, you build strength, improve your skills, and set up for lasting change. This steady commitment is the true meaning of success and the base for a fulfilling life.